Welcome to Legal Nurse Podcast. This is your spot to get inspiration, tips, stories, and guidance to help you in your legal nurse consulting practice. I'm Pat Iyer, the host of Legal Nurse Podcast since 2016. We are among the top 5% of all podcasts in the world in terms of longevity and sharing information consistently week after week with legal nurse consultants. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome to Legal Nurse Podcast. Today, I want to focus on standing out in a competitive field. How to identify your unique value as an LNC. Let me tell you about Andrea. When Andrea first heard about legal nurse consulting, she thought it was one thing, a role where you review medical malpractice cases to help attorneys decide if they have merit. That's it, one lane. But then she started learning more. She discovered there were so many different directions: expert witness work, insurance case reviews, Medicare set-aside, life care planning, defense medical exam observations. The list kept growing. And Andrea's excitement quickly mixed with confusion. She asked herself, how do I choose the right kind of cases for me? How do I stand out in a sea of other LNCs? Her question is one that I hear all the time, and it's the heart of today's episode. How to identify your unique value and build a brand that makes you the obvious choice for your ideal attorney clients. Let's talk about why unique matters in legal nurse consulting. The legal nurse consulting field is full of talented professionals. Many of them offer the same basic services you do. Why would an attorney pick you instead of somebody else? It's not because you can do the work. That's assumed. It's because of the experience, perspective, and reliability that you bring to the relationship. Think of it this way. If you've ever been to a grocery store looking at two brands of the same product, you know you'll choose the one you trust, the one you've had a good experience with before, or the one that communicates its value most clearly. Attorneys think the same way when hiring LNCs. Your job is to make it easy for them to see your value and to remember it. Explore the many paths you can take. Andrea's first surprise was the variety of work available, and you might have had the same reaction when you started exploring the field. Here are just a few directions you can go in as an LNC. You can testify as an expert witness, review cases for the Board of Nursing, support attorneys behind the scenes as a consulting expert, evaluate cases for insurance carriers, work on Medicare set-aside allocations, serve as a case manager, supply expert witnesses, observe defense medical exams, become a life care planner, mediator, or arbitrator. And here's something many people miss. Medical issues can pop up in all kinds of legal cases: criminal law, toxic tort, product liability, pharmaceutical cases, will disputes, even matrimonial cases. The point is, your unique path will likely come from combining your nursing background, your past experiences, and your personal interests. Use your work history to guide you. Your prior nursing roles and even non-nursing jobs are valuable clues to where you might shine in legal nurse consulting. If you've ever worked in a physician's office, you know how practices are run, and that's a skill you can bring to attorneys dealing with office-based care cases. If you've worked in long-term care, you understand the complexities of elder care, staffing challenges, and regulatory requirements. One of my colleagues, Sylvia Anenyi, had paralegal training before she became an LNC. That gave her a deep understanding of how law firms operate and how her role could integrate seamlessly. You may have hidden advantages from your background that can set you apart if you take the time to recognize them. Understand your brand. Now let's talk about a word that's often tossed around, but not always well understood. That's branding. Your brand is not just your logo or your business name. It's the promise you make to your clients. It's the feeling they get when they work with you. It's their expectation of quality, professionalism, and reliability that you'll deliver every time. Think of well-known brands and their logos. Nike's swoosh, McDonald's golden arches, and Starbucks mermaid. Each one sparks an emotional response. Your goal is to create the same effect, not on millions of consumers, but on the attorneys you want to serve. That means every interaction, every report, every email should reflect the quality and experience you want associated with your name. Brand consistency equals repeat business. One of the fastest ways to build a steady flow of work is through repeat business. And repeat business comes from trust. Trust comes from consistency. If you supply expert witnesses, attorneys will expect those experts to be responsive, well-prepared, and accurate. If they aren't, your brand takes a hit, even if you personally didn't do any of those things and you did everything right. That's why your brand isn't just you. It's anyone who represents you, anyone who represents your business, your employees, your subcontractors, and consultants. I want to share with you some highlights of our November 13, 14, and 15, 2025 LNC Success Online Conference. This is a rare opportunity to get together with your colleagues from the comfort of your own home to get inspired, to get educated, and to get supported. We have a variety of speakers who will be sharing their expertise with you, and you'll also have opportunities to work on hands-on workshops. What's new with AI, and how is AI a powerful tool that you can use in your LNC business? I'll be sharing tips about that topic. Barbara Levin, my co-moderator, is going to talk about analyzing nursing malpractice cases. What are some of the factors that you should consider? We have Barbara Levin and an attorney teaming up to share tips on what experienced attorneys look for in reports written by LNCs. You're going to get insider information about how they evaluate cases. Sign up for the conference. Get your seat now at lnc.tips/NOV25. It stands for November 2025. The conference again is 13, 14, and 15 November 2025, taking place at your desk, online, no travel, no expenses, pure education. Consistent quality across all touch points keeps clients coming back. What are your brand touch points? Speaking of touch points, these are every single way a client interacts with your business. Your website, your voicemail greeting, your email signature, your reports, your social media posts, even how you answer the phone. All of these should consistently reflect your professionalism and your brand's personality. Inconsistent branding confuses people. Consistent branding builds familiarity and trust. You should know your competition without copying them. You're not the only LNC in town, and that's okay. Your competitors have their strengths, and you have yours. What you don't want to do is mimic them so closely that you become interchangeable. And please, don't approach local competitors asking them to teach you everything they know so you can start your business in their backyard. That's not collaboration, that's undercutting. Instead, reach your competitors to understand what they offer and then find the gaps where you can shine. How do you differentiate yourself? Differentiation is about answering the question, why should an attorney hire me instead of another LNC? It could be your years of experience in a specialty area, your rapid turnaround time, your ability to spot details others miss, your track record in supporting high-value cases. The key is to go beyond generic statements like, I provide high-quality work. Attorneys expect that already. Instead, communicate specifics. For example, because of my 15 years in trauma nursing, I can quickly assess injury patterns and identify inconsistencies in medical documentation that may impact case value. That's specific, and it positions you as uniquely qualified. You must believe in your value. Many nurses are trained to put others first. That's a wonderful quality. But in business, you also need to believe in your own value. Expressing your brand is not about arrogance, it's about recognizing that you bring something unique to the table. And the right clients will appreciate it. Think of it like car brands. If you're a Mercedes, you're not trying to sell to someone who wants a Volkswagen. You're looking for the clients who want your experience. I encourage you to turn inspiration into practice. Inspiration is great, but it needs structure to be useful. Start by listing your standout personal qualities. Ask former colleagues or supervisors for feedback. Look at your professional history from a fresh angle, not just the job titles, but what each role taught you about patient care, systems, and problem solving. If you have a specialty, turn that into a story. For example, my work in gerontology taught me how to identify patterns of neglect in senior care facilities, insights that directly strengthen my case evaluations for elder abuse litigation. That's not a feature list, that's a benefit statement. Gather proof. It's not enough to say you're good, you need proof. Proof comes in different forms. Facts, such as years in business, number of cases that you've worked on, before and after images of demonstrative evidence. Risk of inaction. What happens if the attorney doesn't hire you? Social proof, including testimonials, endorsements, and case values. A video or audio testimonial from satisfied attorneys is gold. Short, direct, and specific. Written testimonials are also powerful, especially when they use the attorney's full name and permission. And remember, never make up testimonials. It's unethical and it destroys trust. Here are some action steps. If you want to stand out in the competitive LNC field, here's your homework. Clarify your path. Identify the types of cases and clients you most want to work with. Audit your brand touch points. Make sure every interaction reflects the quality you want to be known for. Study your competition, not to copy them, but to see where you can be different. Develop specific benefit statements. Replace generic claims with concrete examples. Collect proof. Gather testimonials, case outcomes, and examples that show your value. Adopt the right mindset. Believe in your uniqueness and position yourself accordingly. Andrea eventually found her lane. She combined her ER nursing experience with her interest in product liability cases and became the go-to consultant for attorneys handling medical device injury claims. That didn't happen by accident. It happened because she took the time to understand her value, define her brand, and consistently deliver on it. You can do the same. So ask yourself today, what makes me different? And how can I make sure every attorney I meet sees that right away? When you answer those questions with confidence and back them up with proof, you won't be another LNC in the crowd. You'll be the one they remember, the one they call, and the one they trust with their most important cases. If you want to go deeper into this topic, I recommend you get a copy of my 2 latest books, LNC Success, Volume 1 and 2. You can get both of them at this link, lnc.tips/LNC Success Both. And that's all one word, LNC Success Both. We focus on the factors that lead to success. Get your books at lnc.tips/LNC Success Both. And hang on a few more minutes to find out what's coming up on Legal Nurse Podcast. Coming up next, there's an opportunity for you to get some tips about a topic that can cause great concern to attorneys, and that is cardiac arrest in the acute care environment. My guest is Mary Beth Kirstein, who is a medical surgical nurse, expert witness, works behind the scenes, and just completed a podcast with me on this topic. Mary Beth, tell our viewer or our listener, what were some of the topics that we covered in your podcast?
We covered what's involved in a code blue, what leads up to a potential code blue, the important records that need to be reviewed, analyzed, and to identify what's happening in the hours before the code blue, during the code blue, and afterwards, and what types of reports would be most helpful to understand the most significant parts of the records with the patient's change, and different types of vital signs and labs and diagnostic studies that may show that the patient is deteriorating before the event occurs.
We went through some of the details of why this is such a critical event to look at, to try to prevent, and then to piece together what happened. As a legal nurse consultant working with an attorney, there are often questions about cardiac arrests. Could they have been avoided? Were they handled properly? What was the outcome? You'll have a chance to get the answers to some of those questions by watching Mary Beth Kirstein's podcast on Legal Nurse Podcast. Coming up next. Thanks, and be sure to catch that one. Thank you for being part of the Legal Nurse Podcast audience. I'm delighted that you've joined us for this episode. Be sure to go to legalnursebusiness.com and get your free reports. Look around the website, pick up some tools that will be useful for you in your legal nurse consulting practice. And be sure to join us for the next episode.